All right, my name is Eric Marcoulier. On the deck, DJ Todd Sampson. We are two of the co-founders of a company called OneTrueFan. OneTrueFan is a service that gives players credit for showing love at their favorite websites and enables them to compete for the title of biggest fan, what we call the OneTrueFan. Our customers are publishers who want to better engage their most loyal users. So a lot of our alpha players refer to OneTrueFan as Foursquare for the web, and frankly, we are over the moon about that comparison. And for more reasons than you might think. Foursquare was originally essentially the dodgeball team with a lot of lessons learned. OneTrueFan is the majority of the original MyBlogLog team, and you can imagine that we've learned a lot in the last half-decade about how to engage users with websites. So let's go to a live demo. So at the bottom of the screen, that is the OneTrueFan bar in action. We are both a website service and a browser extension, which means that publishers can install a bit of JavaScript and immediately have their entire user base playing the game, while users can install the the browser plugin and play everywhere on the web. Now, for the purposes of this demo, this is the extension, but the experience is identical. So this is me, and I've earned 219 points in the last 2 weeks on TechCrunch. I'm going to check in right now, get 10 points for that, and then each additional page that I view today, I'm going to get another point. I'm going to share this page right now, and I'm going to get 15 points for sharing it on Twitter, Facebook, and Delicious. And then hopefully people are going to click on that link, and I'm going to get bonus points for driving traffic to TechCrunch. Now, this is Lane over there. And Lane has earned 296 points in the last 2 weeks, and he is TechCrunch's OneTrueFan. Now, this is kind of interesting. Over the weekend, I was preparing for this presentation, and I briefly became TechCrunch's OneTrueFan. We send out an email to users when they lose the OneTrueFanship on sites that they care about, and about 3 minutes later, I got that email from Lane. And now, obviously, he's joking about this, but at the same time, if we go back, you'll notice that Lane is, once again, the OneTrueFan, and that's because within a half hour, he was back on that site, looking at new content and sharing things with his friends. Now, on the other side, we've also got a leaderboard, and that shows the 10 people who have shown the most love to TechCrunch in the last 2 weeks. On the other side, this is sort of old MyBlogLog. We show people who have recently been on this page. And both Tim, Scott, and Jeff are part of my social network, so OneTrueFan makes sure that I know that they have been here and seen this article. A quick word about privacy. You have complete control over where you check in, if you want to check in automatically on a site, even if OneTrueFan loads on a site for you. And we never share your complete browsing history anywhere. Just more that serendipitous, hey, we were both on the same page. So there's 3 other people in this bar. And what's neat about these guys is they don't even use OneTrueFan. They shared this page via Twitter, and we're starting to pull that information and surface it. And in the coming weeks, we're going to be integrating with Dig, Delicious, Reddit, Tumblr, and more, because we always want you to know the people who love the same content that you do. And when you find somebody, just mouse over them, and we'll show you more information about them. Twitter, Facebook links, their homepage, as well as other articles that they've recently shared. And this is a great way to discover new content. So let's go back to the deck. We've only been working in earnest on this for about 5 months, and we have a long, long road ahead of us, especially on the publisher side. In the coming months, you're going to see in-depth stats about sites' best users, as well as APIs that enable those sites to customize themselves. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, this is really cool and all, but what's the point? Well, more than 84% of a site's traffic visits just once a month or less frequently, with the vast majority only visiting one time ever. And this is what they see when they come to your site, right before they hit the back button. I guarantee you that they can't tell you 24 hours later where they read this article. Meanwhile, just 6% of a site's traffic visits once a week or more regularly. But these regulars, these true fans, engage with their favorite sites differently, and OneTrueFan is all about them. Here's why. As I said, true fans, small percentage of the overall traffic, but they make up a huge percentage of page views. And this is because they don't just visit more often, they read more when they're at your site, and they are engaged at a fundamentally different level. Yet for whatever reason, companies are spending millions of dollars every month engaged in SEO and social media optimization so that they can get more of this crappy one-shot traffic. They would be far better served by engaging their true fans, and that's what what OneTrueFan is here for. So we give them credit, give players credit for their activities, and give them a bit of good-natured gameplay. We enable sites to better identify and connect with their most valuable users, even those that would otherwise be invisible because they're not actively visible on a site through comments. And moving forward, we'll be offering tangible rewards for engagement. Imagine TechCrunch offering a roundtable every month for the top 10 users where those users can sit down with Heather and Mike and Eric. Imagine TechCrunch offering for engagement real goods like alpha invites and passes to Disrupt and even Amex reward points. This is our roadmap, and it's also our business model. We are going to become the loyalty rewards program for the web. And what's great about this is we don't need to have millions of installs in order to make this happen, because each premier site that we partner with is another opportunity to start brokering those deals. As I said, we're a young company. We've got a long way to go. We've got a browser extension that's in private alpha. We'd love for you to come to OneTrueFan right now and start playing with it. The website service is going to be rolling out in about a month. We've got several really, really good launch partners lined up, but we are looking for more sites that are interested in working with their most loyal fans. If that sounds interesting to you, please come find Todd or myself at Disrupt. Thank you so much.
So, OneTrueFan. Robert, straight in there. Are you a fan of OneTrueFan?
Yeah, there's one problem with this, and I read a lot of Twitter accounts, as you know. And I've been unfollowing people who just retweet TechCrunch without using the new retweet. Because there's so many bots, as you know, that bring noise into my Twitter stream. And it seems like you're going to reward people for doing bad behavior that is going to get people like me to unsubscribe or unfollow from them, because it's going to bring more noise into their streams.
So we find this to be a really interesting...
I was going to say, is there any way we can actually show the screen, maybe to look through a little...
I have absolutely no idea. You'd be mistaken if you thought I knew what was going on.
Sure.
So we look at this as a really interesting game mechanic, because you're absolutely right. You have the opportunity to abuse this. And there are times when I've shared 4 or 5 articles in a day. And God, I want to click that 6 when I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll get 5 points, and maybe I'll ostracize 15 friends. And that adds some of the risk reward that is inherent in good gameplay. Additionally, a lot of folks ask, why don't you actually show what people have tweeted, the context there? And it's exactly that point, is that most people just tweet the title of the page, and that's static. We really want to focus on the signal in that.
And one thing is, we do have the gameplay just for humans. We've been trying to block bots ourselves. We've got a admin tool in place, and we're also crowdsourcing that, where there's going to be a report bots or bad players. So definitely taking that into account.
Who's next? Don?
Joe.
Joe?
I feel like I'm the mega Eeyore on stage, so I apologize. But I just feel like a few things. One, you just feel the venture fratricide coming in this category. Like, there's just so many people trying to chase this, they're all going to kill each other. And then somebody 2 years from now who will emerge as the winner, is my gut. So I would encourage, generally speaking, survival will be the strategy here. Keep the burn rate very low and survive as long as you can, because I think there's going to be a lot of people trying to kill each other.
Can I speak to that real quickly, though?
Yeah, sure.
I think you're absolutely right. And I'm actually surprised that there aren't more people than 10 or 12 in Battlefield that are talking about game mechanics. We think that there's huge value in the fact that we've been doing this for years. And we have made, it's specifically all of the fuck-ups that we made with my blog log that I think enable us to, at least for some period of time, have a lead, right? I mean, that's, the meme 2 years ago was fail fast, and now it seems to be gamification. We have failed far more than we succeeded in my blog log, and for some period of time, I think we're going to be making new mistakes while other people are making the mistakes that we made 3 years ago.
I see that. I mean, I also think one of the things I wonder about is the feeling that I'm having the future fatigue around game mechanics. Like, am I falling asleep because I'm imagining I'm so tired in 2 years of game mechanics for everything that I essentially wipe them out. The last point I thought feels maybe somewhat analogous to me of the way user-generated content was pitched in 2001. There were a bunch of companies that came around saying, or 2003, let's say, 2004. So it was around, hey, we're going to form a company around user-generated content. And there were definitely some companies that made it, like TripAdvisor, I think would be a great example of something that really just came up and did very, very well. But broadly speaking, most people perceived a concept and took it and made it a company. And I worry that in this category, I have no question that rewards, loyalty, and game mechanics will be concepts that will be integrated into huge numbers of websites. But I think the challenge is how, accidentally, potentially conflating the notion of a concept with a company. And that's kind of what's stuck in my head.
I agree with you, and I think that's actually, if you look at the companies that are in this space, they tend to fall within two groups. There are those that say we are a service that goes across sites, and then there are those that have a suite of APIs that enable you to create your own custom implementation. And that might be straight out APIs, period, or it might be changing different rewards or changing levels. Frankly, most sites still can't get social media right. There is a huge difference between playing the Xbox and making an Xbox game. And so, at least for those companies that are offering those APIs, I feel like that is a fantastic sales tool and that they may get some great adoption early on. But as more people start trying to bolt that feature on poorly, I think that the companies that are going to survive and really excel are those that are getting best practices across all sites and enabling sites to very quickly say, yes, we want to make this a feature of what we're doing. And if it's a feature that enough people use, it's big business there.
Yeah, and in many ways, there's the, I think gamification is kind of like Ajax was 5 years ago. Everybody joked, just rub a little Ajax on it, it'll make it better. Doesn't quite work that way, it's a lot deeper, but a point you made earlier about people don't change behavior, we build everything we do on top of that. We just need to get on a few websites, let people see that on the publisher side, start surfacing their friends, surfacing all the other shares that are done around the web, and we use that as a tool to push the plugin and actually nobody has to change behavior. They just do what they're
we don't have a lot of time, so I want to hear more from the experts. Also,
sorry.
Eric is hovering. Eric, do you have a question? You can talk into my chest if that helps.
Okay. I've actually been testing this for a couple weeks, and usually I turn off. One of the big things is that you get this pop-up bar, which is kind of annoying, and I generally turn those things off all the time, and I haven't yet, so that's kudos to you guys for that. I haven't turned it off.
Not annoying yet.
The thing that really gets it is I see who's the one true fan, and I just happen to know the other people who are testing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I would care if it was some random person that I didn't know who it was, but it really makes me mad that like Jeff Clavier is the one true fan of Crunchbase when he has no right really to be the one true fan of Crunchbase when I should be the one true fan. I'm on there every day, and you really want to kick them off. It's like,
is that just because it's Jeff?
well, that's part of it too.
But
my suggestion is that if I start seeing just random people, I have no idea who they are, I'm not really going to care whether I kick them off, but I do want to kick Jeff off.
It's a really great point.
Get that.
Not only
way
that,
of starting a fight with Jeff Clavier.
it's the Foursquare problem, the mayor problem. If you know somebody has 100 check-ins ahead of you, and you're never ever going to catch up to that guy, you're going to stop playing the game.
That
is an awesome
key
point,
to
yeah.
us. That is. Thank you for actually bringing that up.
Yeah.
The challenge with Foursquare's mayorship is that there is one way to earn points, check-in.
There's no
You can
strategy.
check in once a day.
Yeah.
And if somebody's 10 check-ins ahead of you, well then good luck. With us, because you can earn points different ways, you might say, you know what, I don't have a big following on my social networks. I'm never going to be able to drive a lot of traffic. That means that if this matters to me, if I want to be the one true fan, I got to read a shitload, and I have to come to this site every single day. Different players can maximize their strategy, which is, again, a good way. It's a great facet of gameplay.
Okay, we're way out of time, so thank you very much, One True Fan.
Thank you.
Guys.
Okay, so yes, our last